So they had to call 911. I got carried out on a stretcher, and basically I passed out from locking my knees for standing too long.
Welcome back to a new episode of the ARC Spotlight Podcast. I am your host, Aisha Collins. Today, we have a new guest on the show. Her name is Tia. She is an actress, a model, and a health advocate as well. Tia, why don't you let the audience know a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Tia Ola. I'm a local model and actress from here, Dallas, Texas. And I've been modeling and acting for the last 4 years now. And primarily when it comes to modeling, I mostly do print and commercial work. And in terms of acting, I do mostly film, but maybe theater. Who knows? We might dibble and dabble in that someday. And like Aisha said, I'm also a dental health advocate for children's dental health.
When you say mainly for modeling, what do you think is like one of the challenges you face as a teenage model in this social media era now?
I'd say breaking into like different spaces within modeling because I used to do runway. I dibble and dabble in runway still, but when I was really doing it, it was very difficult to get into like certain shows because they always want someone who's over 18 or have 10 years of experience, stuff like that. It was a little difficult for a while because as a teen, most of the runway opportunities that you have, it is just you kind of have to pay for it. There's maybe one in a few thousand where it's like, oh, actually a casting, you audition, you can get selected for it. But if we're gonna be so for real, a lot of it is you're just paying to be on somebody's stage. So that's definitely a challenge for sure as someone who's younger.
And did you ever feel like there was a reason why they said over 18 for models?
I kind of understand it because, like, obviously backstage as a runway show, there's a lot going on backstage. Like, I've seen some things backstage, but honestly, I don't understand why they have that limit because I've seen some things backstage and I'm not 18 yet. And so I feel like in terms of that doesn't really do much. The only way I can understand the age thing is honestly like clothes, of course. Like, you don't want a 15-year-old wearing something absolutely crazy. Oh, it depends. I wear a little bit of everything. So I've done really big dresses, really form-fitting dresses, pants, shirts, skirts, a lot of just basic clothes, I'd say. I've never done like, I don't want to say haute couture. I've done a few couture outfits, but nothing like crazy that you might see in like Paris Fashion Week or something. Nothing that's like super hard to walk in. I haven't done those yet, but maybe one day.
Can you speak a little bit about having confidence when you get ready to walk the runway or like as far as being an actress?
Yeah. So when it comes to walking the runway, it is definitely a very daunting thing. I remember my first runway show, I was very, very nervous. It was in New York Fashion Week. And, New York Fashion Week is such like you have such a big idea of what it's going to be about. And so I got there and I was like literally shaking. I was so nervous. And like the music's super loud too, so that like helps you get even more nervous. And in terms of having confidence with runway specifically, you just kind of have to go for it. I mean, that doesn't really help, but like you just kind of have to go out there, I guess, because that's how I start to, get rid of some of my nervousness before I go out. And practice runway in the house. I used to practice runway like an hour and a half almost every single day, even if I didn't have a show coming up. And so that also helped me not be as nervous because when you are nervous on the runway, it does show. Because I've seen models like shaking while they're walking, and we don't want that. So just practicing a lot and just going for it and giving it your best.
So speaking about how you said some of the girls would be like shaking before they walk the runway, do you feel like they're maybe shaking because they don't want to appear nervous or do a bad job online since everything's like recorded and pictures and everything on social media?
I think that definitely has like a part in it. And I think the other part is like you don't know who's sitting in the audience. So you want to really do a good job because that could be someone who could like change your career if you do a great walk that day. And so I think that's where a lot of the nervousness comes from. You don't know where your walk's going to end up and you don't know who's going to end up seeing it. And you want to do a good job so whoever sees it can end up booking you for something later. And so it's a lot of pressure when you think about it as well. And I think another part of the fear comes from just the idea of what runway is and how we've seen it in like media and things like that. And it's just a very big deal. And it has a very big, I don't know the word for it, like, I don't want to say connotation, but almost like stereotype of what it is. And so, yeah, I don't know if that really answers the question. But yeah, definitely, it plays a part in the nervousness.
What's some techniques you prepare, like you do for yourself before you walk the runway to mentally get you in like that mode?
I just I don't like I don't like to talk to people, I guess. That's like the best answer. I do love to talk to people, but like 2 minutes before it's time for me to walk out, I would just like lock in and like just zone in on stuff and like really clear my mind basically. Cause I know like when, I talk to someone right before I do something, I don't end up doing as well. That's just me personally. So like giving myself like 2 minutes of just like up here, almost like meditating a little bit of like clear mental space. Cause backstage is extremely stressful, extremely. You have loud music, people running everywhere. It's a very intense situation. So just blocking all that out for at least 2 minutes before you go out, I think that really helps me.
Do you feel like being backstage as a teen model, has it been easy or challenging to make new friends like
Yes,
back there?
it is not an easy thing to do. I'm gonna be very, very honest. When it comes to backstage as a teen model, I don't even think it has to do with the teen. I think it's just modeling in general. They're very standoffish, I guess. It's not easy to necessarily make friends. I do have friends, so I'm not saying it's impossible. I do have friends who are models, but the way they became my friends is if you're in like a modeling group or you're with the same agency. And then that way you have a connection where like you can actually become friends. But just being backstage where no one knows anyone, it's a very hard thing to make friends back there because everyone's either trying to get their clothes ready, they don't want to talk to you, or a lot of models have the mentality of your competition, so they really don't want to talk to you, or if they do want to talk to you, they just want to like scare you or intimidate you. And so it's extremely hard to make friends backstage at a runway show.
Why do you think they do that or feel that way towards each other when everyone's there for the same goal?
I don't think they have the mentality of everyone's there for the same goal. I think it's like if I do my walk the best, then whoever's out there in the audience will pick me over you, or will pick me because I have the designer's favorite outfit, or I'm the opener, or I'm the closer. I don't know what it is, honestly, but I think it has to do with the potential of getting future bookings based off your performance and just people feeling intimidated. I don't understand it, but I think that's my idea of where it might come from.
Open and closing. So there's like a competition on who walks first and who walks last.
I wouldn't say there's a competition because a lot of the time it's the designer who will just like come up to you and be like, I want you to close, I want you to open. I have seen some people who will pay designers to say, can I please close? Can I please open if I give you X amount of money? But opening and closing in runway is a big deal to a certain extent because I don't really know what it symbolizes. I think it symbolizes like maybe the designer's favorite outfit or like the statement piece from a certain collection. So it is a big deal. But I don't want to say there is kind of a competition. It's a very special thing. So a lot of people want to make sure that's them, I suppose.
And then I know you did some modeling at Texas School of Photography, which is where I met
Yes.
you. And how was that with the new setup they had this year where they had different stations?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I love Texas School just in general. It's such a fun environment. Those models are very fun. They're very relaxed and cool. And meeting the different photographers as well is always a fun time.
Speaking of your social media presence, I noticed that you always are posting different reels and different clips of your pictures or acting. And do you ever feel pressure to like always be perfect online based on what every other like teen model and actress is doing so far?
But I don't like idealize it that much, I suppose. Like it's definitely fun to post on Instagram and stuff. But the way I use Instagram like in my free time when I'm not posting and making my own content, I just go on Reels and like look at funny videos. So I don't like give myself time to like compare what other people are doing because I'm either too busy or when I am on Instagram, I'm just not even like looking for it, I suppose. So I personally am grateful that I've never felt that, I don't know, that feeling to compare myself.
Do you know any like friends of yours that like are constantly comparing themselves online to other models that they see or influencers?
Honestly, no, not that I can like think of.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I mean, I've heard like a lot of people say like that's like a really big problem. Like the compare, like I can see it. I'll say that much. I definitely see how it can like start because I've seen some reels where I'm like, I see how like that can get someone to think badly about themselves or compare themselves. But I'm just fortunate enough that I guess, know how to like ignore it or block it out or just don't feel the need to even compare myself. Or as well, the people I hang around, they either don't have Instagram or if they do, they're just looking at funny videos. So I'm just fortunate in that way.
Okay, and shifting into the confident smile, how did you get into that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. So Confident Smiles started based off of me chipping my two front teeth when I was younger. So essentially, I was riding my bike, I fell off and I chipped my two front teeth. And ever since then, well, I got it fixed now, but like originally, for the first year of me having two chipped front teeth, I did not want to smile at all. And I love to smile, I love to, laugh and have fun, but like it like completely destroyed my self confidence basically. And it also happened when I was in middle school, so there wasn't that much self confidence to begin with. And so that just completely destroyed it. And when I chipped it as well, I'd already had four cavities by then as well. And those were in both my baby teeth and in my adult teeth. But I was fortunate enough to get all those, cavities and chipped teeth fixed. But that helped me realize like I'm very fortunate that I got these problems fixed, but I'm also not the only one who's had to deal with chipped teeth and cavities and other issues that are preventable. And the reason why I even got a lot of those issues is it wasn't because I wasn't going to the dentist, because I was going. It was me, the child. I didn't understand the importance of why flossing is important or why brushing your teeth at night is important. So that's essentially what Confident Smiles aims to do. It aims to educate, equip, and also collaborate with like-minded individuals to help today's youth with their dental health through giving them access to floss, toothpaste, toothbrushes, equip them with those necessary tools, but also educate them about how to use them, the importance of them, the benefits of using them, and also collaboration with, like-minded individuals, businesses, other nonprofits as well. And a key like differentiator between me and other companies as well is because Confident Smiles also blends dental health and self-help. So remember, when I chipped my two front teeth, my self-confidence diminished. And so that's another aspect of I want to teach kids like dental health's important, but also if you do, life happens, if you end up getting braces or a retainer or you chip your teeth, still smile, still show off your smile, still have the confidence to smile essentially, because I don't want anyone else to feel that self worthlessness. I guess that's the best way I can. Oh, of like dentistry.
Yeah.
I do work very closely with like dentists and stuff. So every week, I volunteer with a local dental health nonprofit, and so I actually go into schools and educate first through fourth graders about importance of dental health. I also with them help them equip them with toothbrush, toothpaste, flosses, and I've also actually given kids sealants as well. But me personally, I don't want to become a dentist, but I'm very passionate about dentistry.
Speaking of your career goals, where do you see yourself like going after high school?
After high school, I definitely see myself going to college for sure and doing something in the medical field because I do love medicine. That is something that I do love. Ever since I was like 8 years old, I'd like watch those medical documentaries and everything, even though I probably wasn't old enough to, but I would like just think they were so fascinating. And so definitely going to college and just taking it one day at a time for sure, but still doing modeling and acting and Confident Smiles as well.
Speaking of acting, what roles have you acted in so far?
I've done a few short films and a web series called Parental Control that's on YouTube. That was one of my favorites to film because I had to play a character that's like completely outside of myself and it was very fun. But web series, short films, a few commercials as well. Still waiting for like a future, TV show or something. But those are so far that's what I've done.
Is there any particular actors you would love to work with?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So I love Austin Butler. For the people who are watching this and you've like actually read my articles, you know how far this goes back because Austin Butler's like part of the reason why I started acting because his role in Elvis, it was so good. Have you seen Elvis?
Yeah, I've seen Elvis, yeah.
Then you know what I mean. He's so good. And so I would just love to work with him because he's such a talented actor. And he's also very pretty. But he's also a very talented actor. So I'd love to work alongside him for sure.
What's something that you wish you learned earlier before you started in acting and doing modeling?
Ooh. I think the biggest thing I wish I would have learned earlier is how demanding both fields are. Because at first, it just looked so glamorous and so fun when I first started. I was like, this is going to be so fun. Like, it's going to be amazing. And it is definitely amazing. But with the trade off of it being amazing, to get there is not fun at all. And so I wish I kind of like knew that before I really stepped my feet into it, because that kind of came as a shock to me. I thought it was just going to be like all fun, all sunshine and rainbows. But in order to have fun or an enjoyable experience within modeling acting, there's a lot of like sacrifices and not so fun things you have to do. So like waking up at 5 a.m. I think the earliest I've woken up is 2 a.m. actually to get my hair and makeup done for a film I had to do where I had to be on set at 7, but I lived like an hour away from where we had to go. And so like I didn't know I'd have to do that. I thought like, oh, the hair and makeup and the wardrobe is already there for me. You don't get that until like way later because you have to go through, the steps to even get up to that point, which is very rigorous road.
What's some advice you would tell like a young girl that's maybe pursuing acting or modeling?
I would say have multiple plans, if that makes sense. Like if you know you want to be a model and actress, definitely go for it. I'm not saying don't go for it at all. What I am saying is don't just have one vision for yourself. I only want to do modeling. Because when you think about it, this is something I actually had to like think about myself. When you think about famous models or famous actors, they do multiple things. They don't just do that one thing. That one thing could be their main thing, but they still do other things just in case that one thing collapses on them.
And what advice would you give like that young girl mentally to prepare themselves for what they're about to face if they're trying to juggle all those things at once and school?
That's a good question as well. Just know that I feel like this is gonna sound so bad. Just know nothing is that serious. And I mean that in like a very specific way. So like, you want to do modeling and acting. Mentally just know nothing is that serious to where your health is suffering, your mental health is suffering, your safety suffering, your well-being suffering. No photographer, photo booth session, runway, casting call, no opportunity within modeling and acting is worth those things diminishing to me personally. So just know, like, go with it, go through it, but nothing is that serious to where those things are being affected and, you're left traumatically scarred or something horrible happens to you. It's not worth it. Before it even gets there, if you see like the warning signs or you just feel like something's not right, don't even do it because it's not worth it.
What are some of the warning signs that someone might see or maybe not see right off the top?
Yeah, so like a big one in terms of modeling is like if you get with an agency that makes you pay to be with them or makes you pay to use their, makeup artist and photographer, that just makes you pay in general. That's definitely a warning sign. Getting into debt for a scam modeling agency is not worth modeling for because a lot of times it won't even lead anywhere. In terms of acting agencies, they kind of do that same thing. So any agency where you have to pay really for anything, well, there's some caveats, but just know, like, if you have to pay for really anything, like a web fee or something, that's not the best investment. If you're on set somewhere and you just get like creepy vibes, no one's necessarily done anything to you yet, but if you just feel like the vibes aren't right, don't even do it because, intuition's a big thing within the entertainment industry, like just trusting your intuition. So yeah, if something feels right, if you're like, are they supposed to do that? Am I supposed to be in this situation? Is this normal? If you're questioning, it's probably not normal. So in that case, I'd either just leave, or if you have an agency, call them, tell them what's happening, and they can help you with that, depending on what the issue is. But a lot of the times, it's just best to like either don't even go through with it if you like can tell like the wording before you even get there is weird or the way the person's communicating with you is weird, don't even do it. You get there, something's weird, just leave. Yeah, those are some of the warning signs for sure.
And have your mom always been with you at all of these events when it came to like
yes.
modeling?
I'm glad you brought that up too. Modeling and acting safety, definitely have another person with you in anything that you do, whether it's a photo shoot or you're on set somewhere, definitely have another person. So I've never done anything without having my mom or my dad.
What's like a crazy moment where your mom had to like step in and be like, she's not going to do that?
A real story though that actually happened where she did have to step in was a few years ago at Austin Fashion Week. So this was maybe like a year or two within my modeling career. We had to wake up at 3 a.m. to go to Austin for me to walk in Austin Fashion Week. And so that morning I didn't eat anything. I like woke up, went straight to the car, and we drove there. Once we got to Austin, I ordered a hot chocolate and an old-fashioned donut from Starbucks. And I went right to, where they were holding the models. And once I got there, everything was cool. Then when the designer came in, she's like, okay, I'm going to start sewing your outfit on you. Like, I'm going to start designing my outfit on you. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I've never done that before. That's definitely like a type of modeling. Like, I think it's called fit modeling, where they like, your whole career's like you just being the fit model for like outfits. Like, you're the sample size, basically. So she was like kind of doing that. She was basically making the dress on me. That's what I'm getting at. And so she's sewing this dress on me and stuff, literally like almost from scratch, like completely like sewing it on me. And I'm standing for about 30 minutes. And so after about 30 minutes, I start to get kind of hot. And I'm like, hey, like, can I like, take a break real quick? Because I was starting to feel faint. And she was like, no, like, we're almost done. Like, we're almost done. I was like, okay. So I trust her. And then, like, I don't know what happened next because I actually passed out. Whenever I woke up, my mom was there. And it was like it was so embarrassing. Actually, it was probably one of the most embarrassing modeling moments, too. Because when I actually came to, I also threw up everywhere as well. And like I said, backstage is very small, so it was a very small place.
Oh, man.
And so they had to call 911 and basically, because no one knew what happened, because I don't just pass out. I've never even passed out at all. And so everyone was like panicked. So they had to call 911. I got carried out on a stretcher. And basically I passed out from locking my knees for standing too long. Whenever I actually passed out, one of the others, because this is another example of like some great models backstage. One of the models like ran out to get my mom. I was like, your daughter just passed out. And she like came back in. And so that's how she found out. The reason why she was like not in the same room though is because that designer was like, oh, like parents, you don't have to be in the same room. Like you can like go out. There was like a shopping center across the street. So it's like, you don't have to be here. I got like the kids because she was like a more for kids designer, I guess. Moral of the story, because there is a moral of the story here. That goes back to like, nothing is worth your safety, risking your safety for. That was definitely a teaching moment to like, if I feel sick or if I feel like I need to, take a break, I should have still stuck to my guns and be like, no, like I actually need to like go sit down, I need a drink of water or something before it got to that point. And then like parents, if someone's telling you to leave your kid, I mean, the lady was being nice about it, so it's not like no fault on my parents or anything. But don't do that. Even if they say it in the nicest, most, trusting voice, still don't do that because you never know what can happen backstage.
And was this like a older like designer?
Yeah, like a very trusting looking lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
They seem like another mom or a
Yeah,
teacher.
like it gave that vibe. It gave like motherly teacher vibe.
Oh, okay. And why do you think she felt like you didn't need a break after standing up for 30 minutes?
I mean, this is another thing. I'm very nice. So maybe, because I didn't want to like, be labeled as difficult to work with. So I was like, like, can I like go to the bathroom? And she was like, no, like 5 more minutes. And I was like, okay. If you really feel like something bad is about to happen or you feel sick or something, definitely make it like a bigger deal because that's something that you kind of have to do. And that's definitely what I learned. Like, if I really need to get something done, I should really make sure I say it in a tone that like this is urgent. Even if you say it very urgently, some people still won't take you seriously. So in that case, just stick with your guns and be like, no, I need to do X, Y, and Z.
Speaking of difficult to work with, like how do you models navigate through those like stipulations that be put on them if they're placed under the difficult to work with?
I mean, once you get labeled as like difficult to work with, I don't want to say there's no coming back from that because there's definitely a way, but that one, I don't know. So it's best to just not even go down that path of like being difficult to work with. Because honestly, once you're known for that, it's extremely hard to get unknown for that. So, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword because that's kind of what led to that whole incident happening. I was trying not to be difficult to work with, but I'd say it depends, I guess. So if you're working with someone new, you definitely want to be nice. You don't want to be demanding things that you're not entitled to. Like, you don't want to say like, oh, I need to have my stuff here because I've been modeling for 5 years. Like, no. That's difficult. That's just unnecessarily difficult to work with. But if you're, being nice, respectful, kind, and polite and stuff, but you genuinely need to go out because there's an emergency happening or something, or you need to get something done, I feel like that's a little more forgiving because, it's an emergency. They'll be more forgiving. It's also like how you say it. It's more of like how you say it, not necessarily what you're actually doing. I guess it's a very slippery slope.
Thank you, Tia, for joining us on the ARC Spotlight podcast. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you about what young teen models go through or actresses go through in this new generation. Can you tell the audience where to follow you on social media?
Yes, of course. So you can find me on Instagram at tiaola__. So that's TIAOLA__. And I believe it's the same username as well on TikTok. And you can follow Confident Smiles at confidentsmiles.org on Instagram as well.
And thank you for joining us on the ARC Spotlight podcast. If you enjoy conversations like these, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow.